Okay. So, once I'll show you in short. BT cotton is nothing but Bacillus thuringiensis cotton. This Bacillus thuringiensis is a bacteria. In this bacteria, there is a plasmid gene in addition to the cytoplasmic gene. Circular gene is present in all bacteria. That circular gene, circular DNA is called as plasmid. Okay. So this plasmid has capacity to produce protein crystals which are insecticidal in nature. That means they are toxic. But they do not harm the bacteria because inside the bacterial body it is inactive. When it enters into insect's body, digestive system of the insects is having alkaline pH. Because of this alkalinity, the inactive protein will turn into active form and kills the insects. How it kills the insects? The epithelial cells of the midgut of insect digestive system will be affected by these toxins and the cells will swell, they form pores and the cell dies. When the cells die, what will happen? Pores means the holes will form inside the cells. Okay, and eventually insect dies. When the insect dies, there is no infection. So, this gene which is having these properties are identified by scientists and they are separated means that they are taken out of the bacterial body and they are turned into linear chain. In this circular form, it cannot enter into the genome of the cotton. So, they should be broken down to form a linear chain and this linear chain is introduced into the cotton genome. Cotton genome. Okay, there are techniques for this. How it is done, we'll study later. First of all, you understand that this circular plasmid is broken. It is made into chain, linear chain. It is introduced into the genome of cotton. Okay, actually, it's not a single gene. It is having three different types of genes. Cry1AC, Cry1AB, Cry2AB. These three together they are called as cry genes. They are called as cry genes. So this among this Cry1AC and Cry2AB are against cotton bollworm. Cotton bollworms are those worms which cause infection to the cotton flower. They infect the seeds of cottons. And once the seed of cotton is infected, the inner cotyledons is entirely eaten and that will not form a completely mature cotton will not form from that. Okay. So for this these two genes are introduced into cotton and that cotton is called as BT cotton, Bacillus thuringiensis cotton. Cry1AB is very good against corn worms. What is a corn worms? Corn borer. They are called as corn borer. They infect the corns. The total corn will be there, no? That stub of cotton is there. It is infected by the worms and the fruit will not, that complete seeds will not be formed, it will not develop. So that is also harmful. Okay, these pests are causing harm by reducing the yield. If it is infected, that fruit or that one cotton will be wasted, yield will decrease. So this will be introduced into the corn genome and it is able to fight against corn borer worms. Okay, this is also introduced into brinjal and that is called as BT brinjal. If it is introduced into corn, it is called as BT corn. Okay, this type of modified seeds are called as genetically modified seeds, GMS. Okay, genetically modified seeds, genetically modified seeds. Because this genetic modification is done in seeds, it is called as genetically modified seeds. Sometimes genetic modifications are done in organisms, complete organisms. They are called as genetically modified organisms. Okay, so this is one example how this biotechnology will be used. Second, I'll say you one more example of RNA interference. RNA interference. Bitcoin is different. That is currency. Bitcoin is currency. BT cotton is different. Bitcoin is different. If the coin is coded in bits, computer language, then it is a Bitcoin. That is different, completely different. BT cotton is a genome introduced cotton. The genome is from bacteria called Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay. So RNA interference is done in a nematode. I'll say you 1 minute. So there is a nematode. Its name is meloid meloid. How do you meloid incognitia? Incognitia. This is a nematode. This is a nematode. In this nematode, it causes, nematode means worms. Roundworms are called as nematodes. It causes infection in tobacco plants. It eats tobacco leaves, roots. It causes infection to tobacco roots. And once the roots are infected, plant cannot grow. So to avoid this, a method called RNA interference is used. RNA interference, RNAi, denoted as RNAi, and it is called as RNA interference. What is this RNA interference? For any DNA molecule, mRNA is synthesized, and from that proteins required are synthesized. So what is done is, in this meloidine incognitia, in this nematode, the mRNA is not allowed to produce the proteins. Okay? When mRNA is not allowed to produce proteins, this organism will eventually die. No proteins in the body, it will not be able to survive. Okay, how that interference is done? For mRNA, a complementary mRNA is produced. Complementary. Double-stranded RNA is introduced into these organisms. Okay? When this complementary double-stranded DNA, RNA is introduced into the organisms, this will directly bind with DNA and does not allow the mRNA to synthesize. And here what should be kept in mind is, this double-stranded DNA, RNA should be related to this protein, the genes of this protein. Okay, so it should have a strand that is similar to mRNA, and the complementary two should be present. Okay, so these two strands are named as, 1 minute, I'll say you, sense strand and anti-sense strand. Sense strand, sense strand, and anti-sense strand. Both these strands are made complementary to each other. The sense strand is similar to mRNA. Anti-sense strand is complementary to this sense strand. And both these are allowed to bind to each other, and they are entered into tRNA. As a result, this strand will bind to the DNA molecule. It does not allow the mRNA synthesis. That is why it is called as RNA interference. How to find out the mRNA? For every organism, there will be viral infection. Viral infection. So, the virus that infects this nematode is RNA virus. So, we know that RNA viruses take the control of DNA and they produce the strands that are similar to the DNA of host. We have discussed this. RNA viruses take the control of host organisms and produce the strands similar to this host organism. So when you take this RNA virus which infects this nematode Meloideline incognitia, then what happens? We'll find out the from the RNA sequences of these viruses, we can find the DNA sequence of this nematode. As a result, the production of this complementary DNA, double-stranded DNA is possible. Okay. Information related to this mRNA is obtained from these viruses, and double-stranded RNAs are synthesized and they are introduced into this nematoda, and as a result it cannot produce proteins, it eventually dies, and this process is called as RNA interference. RNA interference. Is it clear?